Breaking news, and for millions of Canadians, it feels like a moment they've been waiting for their entire lives. In kitchens, retirement homes, and living rooms from Halifax to Vancouver, the question being whispered is simple: how do I make the most of the pensions I've already earned? Tonight, we uncover 10 simple but powerful strategies that could forever change the way you look at your old age security, your Canada pension plan, and your guaranteed income supplement. For some, these steps could mean hundreds of extra dollars every single month. For others, it could mean the difference between running out of money halfway through the month, and finally breathing with dignity. To understand just how urgent this has become, let's rewind. Old Age Security, or OAS, has been around since 1952. Back then, the average payment was just $40 a month. Today, it's grown to as much as $713 for most seniors over 65, and an additional $817 for those over 75. Meanwhile, the Canada Pension Plan, CPP, was introduced in 1965 as a way to ensure Canadians who worked and contributed wouldn't be left without an income in retirement. On average today, the CPP retirement benefit sits at around $758 a month, though some receive the maximum of just over $1,360. And then there's the GIS, the Guaranteed Income Supplement, offered to low-income seniors, which can add another $1,065 monthly. On paper, that might sound like enough. But for the average Canadian senior, the reality is far more complicated. Grocery prices have jumped by more than 20% in the last 4 years. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in cities like Toronto and Vancouver can easily top $2,000 a month. Even in smaller towns, basic bills, electricity, heating, internet, keep climbing. And then there are medications. Blood pressure pills, diabetes medication, pain relief, these costs eat away at whatever's left. Too many seniors are left whispering the same painful truth: the system gives, but it never feels like enough. That's why experts, advocates, and even some inside Ottawa are pointing towards something different, not a sweeping reform, but a smarter way of managing what's already there. And it comes down to 10 simple, strategic choices. Tip 1. Timing your CPP application. Most Canadians apply at 65. But delaying to age 70 increases benefits by 42%. Imagine turning a $1,000 monthly payment into $1,420, forever. On the other hand, taking it early at 60 reduces it permanently by 36%. The choice depends on your health, your savings, and your expected lifespan. Critics argue this only benefits the healthy and well-off, while supporters say it rewards patience and planning. Tip 2. The OAS deferral. Much like CPP, old age security can also be delayed up to 5 years. Each month you wait after 65 adds 0.6%. That's a 36% boost if you wait until 70. For someone who would have received $700, that means closer to $950. It's a decision that could shift the entire trajectory of a retirement budget. Tip 3. The GIS maximization strategy. Many don't realize that even part-time work, or withdrawals from RRSPs, can reduce GIS benefits because of income testing. One senior in Windsor said she lost $250 a month simply because she cashed out too much from her savings in a single year. By carefully structuring withdrawals, seniors can keep more of their GIS intact. Tip 4. Tax credits most forget. The age credit, pension income credit, and medical expense deductions are often overlooked. Together, they can cut hundreds, sometimes thousands, off a tax bill. One Ottawa couple discovered they had been missing out on nearly $1,800 annually simply because they hadn't filed properly for medical expenses. Tip 5. Income splitting. For couples, pension income splitting can move thousands of dollars of taxable income from the higher-earning spouse to the lower, reducing taxes and preserving benefits. It's a quiet rule that many accountants know, but many everyday retirees miss. Tip 6. The deferral of RRSP withdrawals. Seniors who convert their RRSP to a RRIF at 71 sometimes withdraw too much too soon. Experts suggest drawing strategically to avoid spikes in taxable income, which can claw back OAS benefits. Tip 7. Avoiding the OAS clawback. Once annual income crosses roughly $90,000, OAS begins to shrink. At $150,000, it disappears entirely. That's why structuring income sources matters. A single real estate sale or capital gain can wipe out thousands of dollars in OAS payments. Tip 8. Provincial supplements. Beyond the federal benefits, several provinces offer their own top-ups. In British Columbia, the senior supplement quietly adds $99 per month. In Quebec, low-income seniors may receive a special benefit worth up to $200. Few apply, fewer know they exist. Tip 9. Disability benefits and retroactive claims. Seniors who had disabilities in their working years, or who qualify later in life, can sometimes apply retroactively for credits or payments. This can mean lump sums of $10,000 or more. Tip 10. Staying informed and reapplying. Perhaps the most important tip is awareness. Benefits change, quietly, often without much media attention. A single missed form, a single outdated piece of income reporting, can cost a retiree thousands. Advocates say Ottawa should simplify the process. Critics counter that the complexity is intentional. Either way, knowledge remains power. The impact of these strategies is already visible. In Edmonton, a widowed senior named Margaret adjusted her CPP start date after advice from a financial workshop, and now receives $300 more per month than she would have. In Montreal, a retired factory worker named Jean split income with his wife, reducing their taxes by nearly $4,000 a year. But there are others, like Harold in Saskatoon, who say these tips sound good on paper but ignore the reality of health problems and unpredictable lifespans. What good is waiting until 70, he asks, if you don't live that long? It's a fair point, and one reason why the debate remains so intense. Supporters of these strategies argue that they're practical, achievable, and already built into the system. Critics counter that these are band-aid solutions, that the real issue is the inadequacy of benefits in the first place. After all, even if you master all 10 tips, the average retiree is still facing an income far below the $3,000 to $4,000 a month financial planners say is necessary for comfortable living in Canada's major cities. And yet, for millions of seniors, the difference between barely enough and a little breathing room could be life-changing. An extra $200 can mean heating the home without worrying about the gas bill. An extra $400 can mean saying yes to fresh fruit, quality protein, or the medication that keeps you alive. An extra $600 might mean helping a grandchild with school supplies or visiting family across the country. It's no exaggeration to say this is about dignity. Canadians built this country, through decades of work, through paying into the system, through raising families and building communities. The retirement system was meant to be their safety net. These 10 strategies won't solve everything, but they may finally help ordinary citizens squeeze every possible dollar from the programs they've already earned. So where does this leave us? We are at a crossroads. Seniors must decide, do they take action, learn the strategies, and reshape their future? Or do they leave money on the table, money that could mean warmth, security, and dignity? The federal government, for its part, is watching closely. Some say quiet policy adjustments are on the horizon, others insist that for now, the burden remains on individuals to know the rules. One thing is certain, the decisions made today will echo across lifetimes. For the retiree staring at a grocery bill that seems to grow heavier every week, for the couple balancing pills against rent, for the grandparent hoping to leave even a modest legacy, these 10 tips may not just be financial strategies. They may be lifelines. And as Canada faces the reality of an aging population, perhaps the larger question is this: will we as a nation find ways to ensure every senior can live with dignity? Or will these strategies remain a secret tool for only the most informed? For now, the answer remains just out of reach. But one thing is clear. The power to improve your OAS, CPP, and GIS forever is not locked in Ottawa. It's within your grasp. It's about choices. It's about timing. And above all, it's about dignity, independence, and respect in the final chapters of life.